Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for another edition of the GUNBOI News Network, as we have a new banner to grace us tonight in the form of the GM Sniper III mid-range support unit. But before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let's go over some news. Alright folks, aside from our main event here, we have a step-up supply drop for the banner suit, which we'll go into a little bit. On top of that, we also have a separate limited supply drop for the High-Zat Cannon level 2, as well as level 1 variants. So if you don't have quite the support selection in your hangar, this might be something that you want to pick up, as well as its lovely level 2 version for the beam rifle. The suit is pretty decent at 450. Hard to say how it'll do with 500 with the likes of the Jamru Fin and the Proto-Stark Jigen in the ecosystem, but again, like I said, if you don't have any other supports that you want to try out and kind of help out your team in that capacity, this might be something that you want to pull for. Going into the recycle counter portion of the news, the level 2 700 cost Toadsritter is coming to town, so not sure how that'll fare in the ecosystem of Unicorn and Banshees at that cost range, but I can definitely vouch for this solid suit. It's pretty good range-wise, it's got some good decent melee, and overall a good solid hit. Jumping into the DP store, we have the Zero Shiki Type 2 level 1, level 2 being added, as well as the level 3 Nemo and the Barzam level 3 as well. Alright folks, just some background information on our new banner suit. The GM Sniper III mid-range support is a 400 cost 2-star support unit that's usable in ground space. Now this is built on the GM Kai high mobility type, which is at the time trying to compete with the likes of the GM2, which has recently been accepted by the Earth Federation as their mainstay mobile suit. Now this is equipped with a lot of experimental weaponry. This, for example, comes with a long-range beam rifle, very similar to the Hazel custom that would utilize something similar later down the road. It has a cannon pack, which is very similar to what the High-Zat Cannon is equipped with. It has a bullpup in this case, in the sense of game mechanics, and a beam saber to boot. Now, if you are pulling and doing that 10 spin, you do have a chance, if you don't have one already, to get the Titans-based normal suit. So you have a chance of getting both either the helmet or the normal suit separately. But, you know, it's a cool thing because I've had this for a while. Now, on to the step-up portion. In addition to the main event that we were discussing earlier, this is also has a boosted supply drop promotion. So what that means for the uninitiated is there's a half off promotion, which allows you to pull with only half of the amount that would normally be required to do a 10 pull, and give you a chance to get the suit plus some other goodies. So if you don't really have quite a staggered collection and you want to kind of expand that a little more and you've been saving, this might be worthwhile. So if you haven't done it already, I would definitely take advantage of this. Not so sure about the other steps, but definitely for sure the first step, always an easy decision there. So without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty details behind the suit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, into the nitty-gritty we go. So the GM Sniper III mid-range support unit, or just simple terms, call it just the GM Sniper III. This thing's pretty fragile at first glance, mainly because this only comes with stock 11k HP, and everything else under that cost range that is a support comes with a little more breakthrough. A lot of them come at like 14k, 15k, maybe 16k if we're lucky. On top of that, the resistances lean heavily into beam, followed by ballistic, and melee resistance is practically not there. But at the same time, a lot of folks, I would say, that play a lot of supports already know if a raid is already in melee reach, you're pretty much dead. So no sort of melee resistance is going to save you in that aspect. However, going into the other things here, it does feel rather... It's hard to say if this is balanced or if it's low. It does feel maybe balanced in a weird sickly way, because your range and melee strength are almost equal, but they're both sitting at about 18 to 16 respectively. As far as movement goes, 115 is pretty standard for most supports in this cost range, with the exception to like the multi-cannon. You do have top speed a little bit higher than some of the other support units in this range. Thruster gauge, in addition, is about roughly the same with a turning speed of 60, so this may not necessarily have the beefiness of most of the other supports, but it does seem that it can turn on a dime and have mobility, keep up with the front lines. They're very similar to the very similar in a way to the multi-cannon type, but this is very much a glass cannon. So going into the weapons, we have a long-range beam rifle coming in at 1200 for the power, 3 shots, and an effective range of 600 meters. Cooldown time between shots is 5 seconds, with a reload time of 17 seconds, and a focus time of 4 seconds. Now, this functions very similar, as I had quick time to run around with this in practice. It works very similar to the Hazel Customs beam rifle. However, it does not seem like it has piercing. Sadly, it would be kind of nice and kind of disturbing for a 400 cost unit to have that type of aspect. However, the charge is probably needed, or at least it gives the player the option to dish out more damage, which is definitely a welcome sight, considering that the base strength for the suit is kind of on the lower end, in addition to the fact that either charge shots or normal shots will stun suits, which is pretty good. And you can do it at 1600 meters, which is... Sorry, I meant to say 600. I don't know why I was thinking 1600, but 600 meters. So if you got a clean shot, you got everything lined up, it can definitely harass at longer distances and still keep up with the main battle group. Going into its melee, we have its swing, normal Fetty swings at 2200. It basically utilizes the same beam saber as the Hazel, so yeah, getting up close with generals, if given the opportunity, it can definitely do a lot of damage. Just sadly, we'll get the skills, which would probably make it a little more terrifying. It comes just like the Hazel Custom, comes with a bullpup. I have not tried it yet, and I don't know if it has any weapon spread, but if it doesn't have any weapon spread, very much like the sub version of the Hazel Custom, this is going to be pretty scary, even with the 10-second reload time. The base power is already pretty strong with 140 and 30 rounds in the mag, and 250 meters of effective range, which is pretty crazy because most bullpups for like low-cost suits, even for the Hazel, were effectively at 150 and not even hitting 200. So this is definitely suggesting a higher skill cap and more aggressive play at basically high risk, high reward almost. All right, now jumping into the cannon pack, you have a 3-shot burst. I'm not sure if you can control it through either weapon swapping. I'm pretty sure you can do the weapon swap deal. It does not suggest that you can individualize shots per se, but I haven't tried. Just quickly looked at it, but we're looking at 750 power, 3 shots, 550 meters effective range, with 4.5 seconds in between shots and a 12-second reload. So it almost seems pretty clear that you're going to be juggling between the beam rifle and the cannon pack, and then just mopping up with the bullpup, and if you're lucky, getting a nice downswing down alongside of it. And it comes with a shield too, so I'm not sure if BB believes highly in the shield, but it can possibly, with the right positioning, save your life. But I would almost go for effective HP over the shield, because all the other supports seem to have that, but somehow this one has it. Going into the shopping range list of skills, not shopping range, but shopping list, we have a lot of the similar things that you would find with most supports. This one in particular comes with precision sniping, which comes with that 30% damage and extended cooldown for using it. So kind of, I don't know. I know I don't really hear anything as far as that goes. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing, if people utilize it enough or not, we'll see. I would almost say it's probably situational for the most part, but it can probably work in your favor if used in a, I would say, optimum amount, which, you know, we can go about that all day. It also comes with observational data link with most supports, so I mean, that's pretty normal, but I think the thing that kind of threw me off was that it comes with the scouting parallel processing device, a skill that initially came with the Isaac Custom at 450. So you're able to go into sniping mode and in conjunction with precision sniping, still be able to keep an eye on your radar. Now, of course, that's not going to save you from the likes of something like the Pale Rider, the Black Rider, if you will, or any other stealth unit that isn't being tied down by your front line, by your generals. So I would take care with that, but at the same time, for those that don't have stealth, that might work out for you. So I haven't taken a hack at this yet. I'm kind of scared of it a little bit, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited to do some weird shenanigans with the support, see what I can do with it. I know my skills are a little limited, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, folks, that'll be it for the new banner suit, the GM Sniper III mid-range support type. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button and make sure your notifications are enabled with that little bell icon. It certainly helps me out, helps out the channel, helps out the algorithm. And if there's anything that you guys like to add to this, I know this may or may not necessarily be the suit of your choice, but definitely comments as well. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next video.